elements, molecules, and compounds. These are sort of 4 different vocabulary words that all mean kind of similar things, but it helps if we have like a picture in our mind of what each one means. An atom is a single piece of an element that retains the element's properties. So like this right here is a chlorine atom. Here's a separate chlorine atom. This is a magnesium atom right here. Those 3 things are all atoms. Basically, any one of these labeled circles that has the label of an element in it, that is an individual atom for each thing. Now, when you're talking about an element, there would only be one kind of atom. All elements are found on the periodic table of elements. So here is an element, here is an element, because that is only one kind of atom. This right here is actually also an element, because while there are 2 atoms, there's one oxygen and a second oxygen. There are 2 atoms, but that's still only one kind of element. We only have O, oxygen there. So that's also an element. But when you have multiple elements connected together, that is no longer overall an element. That's a compound. When you have 2 or more different types of atoms connected together, combined, then you're going to have a compound. And anytime any 2 elements are combined with a bond, that's going to be a molecule. So you can have a molecule that is only an element because there's only one kind of atom. You can also have a molecule that is a compound because there's more than one type of atom there. So like here we have H and another H, but we also have an O, and these are all combined together. The fact that they're combined together is what makes them a molecule. The fact that there's 2 different kinds of elements there, H and O, that's what makes it a compound. So it's something you have to kind of keep a close eye on. Like this over here, because there's bonds, and that is a molecule. And because these are 2 out of 3 different types of atoms, that also makes this thing right here a compound. Same with this OC, they're combined, that's what makes it a molecule. And since they're different elements, that's also what makes it a compound. So we're gonna classify down here some of these. I recommend you pause the video, try it yourself first, then press play and let me check it with you. That will be the best way to know if you have a grasp on it, or you could like pause it and do one problem, play and listen to that problem, pause it, do the next problem, play and listen to that problem. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. I will say that the worst possible way to help yourself learn this would be to just play this without trying any of these problems yourself. So you should, like, if you want to learn it, you need to try it by yourself first. And pause the video to do that. Then come back here, press play, and check yourself after you've already tried each problem. Did you pause it? Did you try it by yourself? Some of you did not. You should really pause it and try it by yourself. Okay, I don't believe all of you. I'm very sure some of you did not try it by yourself. That's your loss. But here we go. Looking at number 1, I see 3 different atoms. Each one of those labeled circles is its own atom. How many elements are there? There's S and there's also O. That's 2 types of elements. The whole thing is all connected in one piece together. So that is one molecule. And then the whole thing is one compound as well, because it's connected several different types of elements. We look at number 2, and I see 4 different little circles labeled F, so that's 4 atoms. There's only one type of element here, all of it's fluorine. Molecules, I see a connector here, and then this other thing is connected here. They're not connected to each other, so that's one molecule here and a second molecule there. That's 2 molecules. And compounds, there's only one type of element here. That means there's no compounds, because a compound has to have more than one type of element. There's only fluorine here. so it cannot be a compound. When we look at number 3, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 atoms. How many different elements are there? There's lithium and there's nitrogen, so that's 2 elements. They're all connected in one big piece, so that's only 1 molecule. And then the whole thing, since there's more than 1 element, that is 1 compound. For number 4, I see an O, a C, and another O. That's 3 atoms. My elements are C and O, so that's 2 elements. They're all connected together into one big piece, so that's 1 molecule. One big piece, that's 1 molecule. And then because this one big piece that is 1 molecule has more than 1 element in it, that means that it is also a compound. And in our final problem, H, O, and K, that is 3 atoms. And hydrogen, oxygen, and potassium, that's also 3 different elements. They're all connected together into one big piece, so that's 1 molecule. And the whole thing has more than 1 element, all connected together, so that is 1 compound. Next time, try it by yourself. Those of you who lied to this pre-recorded video of me and pretended you tried it by yourself, I see you. I don't actually see you, because again, this is a pre-recorded video from July 2020, but you get the idea.